Hi, this is John from Apollo Sprayers. Today we're going to talk about how to repair and replace the air valve bushing. So let's get started. Okay, so in order to remove the air valve bushing, which is located right here in the back of the gun, you need to first remove the OS control. So in order to do that, we'll need a small adjustable wrench or an 18mm wrench, and put that on the nut, loosen that off. And then we can remove the OS control from the spray gun. And then the next thing we're going to do is remove the material flow screw. And the spring will come out with it, so you can just leave those two together if you want. Then pull the trigger. That'll give you something to grab onto so you can remove the needle. And the next thing we're going to do is remove the flow screw bushing. So we can use our wrench for that and put the wrench on it and just loosen off the flow screw bushing. So once we get that out, we have the spring here, so we'll pull the spring out, and then we've got the culprit right here. This is the air valve stem, and if you've got air leaking, so what will happen is you'll be pulling the trigger and then all of a sudden you'll feel air leaking on the front of your fingers right here. And if you feel that, what's happening is the air, most likely, the bushing here is being pulled into the spray gun, which is allowing air to come through the hole here where the valve stem comes out, and it goes over the trigger and then comes down on the front of your fingers here. So common thinking is that it's coming from the front of the gun, when most likely it's coming from the back of the gun. So what's going to happen if it is this part, you're going to pull out the air valve stem and you're going to have it stuck to the valve like this. So you got the bushing here that's stuck to the valve stem. So what's happened is typically you'll get a little buildup of overspray right here on the front of the valve stem, and that will eventually just grab the bushing and pull it into the spray gun when you pull the trigger. So in order to fix this, we're going to pull the bushing off. We should be able to reuse that. And then we're going to clean the front of the stem here really well. So use an acetone or some type of cleaner like that to clean off the front shaft of the air valve stem. Once you've done that, we'll be ready to reassemble everything. So the bushing goes down into the cavity at the bottom of the spray gun here, and we've now made a nice little tool which you can order online if you don't have one. It's an A7562. We'll put the part number in the description for you. That way you can order it. It also comes with all new 7700 spray guns and is available in the overhaul kits as well. So when you order an overhaul kit or a new spray gun, you will get one of these tools, and this makes the reinsertion of this bushing much, much easier. So we're just going to put the bushing on the front of the tool and then just insert the tool into the spray gun here, and it will automatically seat the bushing properly. So all we do is just push on it and then twist a little bit, and you'll feel it seat right into the bottom of the spray gun here. And then you can remove it, and you should find that the bushing now is reinserted properly into the bottom of the spray gun. So now we can go ahead and put the valve stem back in. So just push that in and then reinsert the return spring, and you want the small end to go in first with the big ends at the end. That goes against the material flow bushing. And sometimes the bushing here binds up a little bit on the valve stem. So if that does, in this case it didn't, but if it does, I use the back of the needle, not the front. You use the back, and you can use that to just straighten the valve stem out so that you can then put the adapter or bushing back on. And then we'll just take our wrench again, and the 16mm side, just use that, just snug it up. It doesn't have to be tight, so don't go cranking on it. It only needs to be up finger tight. Then we're going to go ahead and reinsert the needle next, and then the spring and the flow screw last. So once we've reassembled that, the last thing is to reinstall the OS control into the top of the gun. And then just tighten it up with your adjustable or your 18mm. Again, that doesn't need to be tight either, it just needs to be snug. And that should conclude on how to reassemble the air valve and fix that bushing.